Hi everybody, I'm here with my daughter Mildred, and today we are going to do a little bit of a science experiment. We're going to see which things sink and which things float in our bowl of water here. Before we begin, I wanted to say there's two very important steps to any science experiment. The first step is you make a prediction as to what you think might happen. It's kind of a guess. The second thing is to observe what happens. So that's all we're going to do. I invite you to do it with us together. So the first thing we're going to see if it sinks or floats is a quarter. What do you think, Mildred? Will it sink or float?
I think it'll probably sink.
Let's find out. Whoa, that sunk right to the bottom really fast. The next item I have is a super ball. What do you think? Do you think it will sink?
I think it'll float.
You think it will float? Let's find out.
No.
Wow, that sunk right to the bottom.
Just like the cord.
How about this? It's a pencil. Do you think it will sink or do you think it will float?
I think it is going to float.
Float. Okay, let's find out.
Yay.
Can you guys all see that? It floats. All right, thank you. Next up, I have a big pink eraser. Do we think it will sink or do we think it will float?
I think it will sink.
Sink. Okay, let's find out. Yes, I saw that it sank right to the bottom. What should we do next?
Let's do the key.
Oh, next we have a key.
I think this key is going to sink.
Did you guys hear that? I saw it and heard it.
It sunk right to the bottom right away.
It sunk really fast. Okay, key sinks. I have another one. How about an apple? Would an apple sink or would an apple float? What do you guys think?
I think it's going to float.
You think it's going to float? Okay, well, let's find out. It does! It floats! How cool! Apples float. Next up, I have a little Lego piece. What do we think? Do we think the Lego is going to sink or float?
I think it is going to float.
Float. Okay, let's try it. You guys see that right there? It's floating. You were right. All right, now we have a crayon. Let's save that for last.
I think...
What do we think? Is the crayon going to sink or float?
I think it's gonna float.
Let's try it. It sunk.
That's cool.
I think
the pencil floated.
I would have thought maybe it was going to float too. Very interesting. All right, now we have a cotton ball. What do we think? Sink or float?
I think it's gonna float.
You think it's gonna float?
Yeah.
Let's try it. There it is, floating. Oh wait, now what's happening? It floated and then it sunk.
It absorbed all the water, so then it got heavier.
It absorbed the water and got heavier. That's probably exactly what happened. Very cool. All right, I have one last thing. It is a gummy worm. What do you think? Is the gummy worm going to sink or float?
Sink.
Sink. All right, let's try it. It did. It sunk right away. So I hope you guys had fun joining our science experiment with us. I invite you to do your own science experiment at home. You can get a bowl of water and some other things around your house and see if they sink or float. Just make sure that you ask your mom or dad first before you put stuff in the water. Okay? We don't want to mess anything up. All right, thanks for joining us. See you next time. Bye.